Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the top 5 best motherboard for gaming. Starting at number 5. ASRock B450M Steel Legend. The ASRock B450M Steel Legend is a micro ATX form factor AMD Ryzen-based board with the AM4 CPU configuration. Like all the B450 boards, the B450M Steel Legend will support Ryzen Generation 1, 2 and 3 series processors, but keep in mind that PCIe 4.0 is not enabled on the Ryzen 3rd Gen chips when paired with the 450 series motherboards. ASRock has really upped their game with the Ryzen series processors and in many circles have been a board of choice due to its higher than average features for the dollar and rated as one of the better performing manufacturers for the Ryzen series of CPUs. Sadly, the Steel Legend comes in with a lower warranty than some of the other offerings at 1-year warranty. When looking at the PCIe and storage options, the ASRock B450M Steel Legend offers one PCIe X16 slot and one PCIe X4 slot as well as one PCIe X1 slot. You will also find a pair of M2 storage options, but note that if you utilize the second M2 slot, it will disable the PCIe X4 slot in the third position, which is pretty normal for consumer-grade CPUs. This isn't a limitation of the motherboard itself, but consumer-grade processors typically will run into a limitation on how many PCIe lanes are available. Overall, the ASRock B450M Steel Legend offers premium quality, durability and plenty of connectivity and features. It lacks in some areas like for example audio and Wi-Fi, but for the money, it is a stellar motherboard. For more information and latest price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. At number 4. ASRock H470 Phantom. The ASRock H470 Phantom Gaming 4 is an Intel-based motherboard supporting 10th generation Intel Core processors with the 1200 socket. It is a full ATX board with loads of room for all your devices and bells and whistles. Compared to the micro ATX offerings discussed here in this article, you will be pleasantly surprised with all the connections. If you are looking for a full ATX 10th Gen Intel board under $100, this is really a great offering. The ASRock H470 Phantom Gaming 4 supports DDR4 memory of 2933 MHz up to 128 GB, and the onboard graphics will support up to 3 monitors with the HDMI port of 4K-X2K at 30 Hz and 4K-X2K at 60 Hz through the DisplayPort. Additionally, the audio will support 7.1-channel audio and also has Nahimic audio built in, which is a huge plus for gamers. On the board itself you will find 2x PCI Express 3.0x16 slots, 3x PCI Express 3.0x1 slots and 1x M2 socket that supports Wi-Fi with the full ATX size. Assuming you have the room for it, you do get a lot more options for the PCIe slot configurations. Full ATX boards are easier to work with when you aren't having to cram components in a tight place as well as offering a lot more room for custom cooling solutions. Despite ASRock being a well-known brand, they only offer a 1-year warranty, which may not give you the peace of mind that some other motherboard manufacturers offer. With that being said, if you're specifically looking for a full ATX motherboard that supports the newest Intel Comet Lake processors, the ASRock H470 Phantom Gaming 4 is one of few that won't set you back more than $100 while having everything you'll need. Halfway of my listed number 3. Gigabyte B450 ARSM. The Gigabyte B450 ARSM is another micro ATX offering, bringing it in under the $100 price point. This motherboard supports 1st, 2nd and 3rd generation Ryzen processors, but it will only support the processors up to the PCIe 3.0 platform. Gigabyte is a well-known computer parts manufacturer, and the ARS series indicates that you can expect a high-performance product. Starting on the back panel, the B450 ARSM has 1x PS2 keyboard mouse port, 1x DVI-D port, 1x HDMI port, 2x USB 3. 1 Gen 2 Type A ports, red, 4x USB 3. 1 Gen 1 ports, 2x USB 2.0 1 ports, 1x RJ45 port and 6 audio jacks. Also note that the Gigabyte B450 ARSM has one PCI X16 slot and one PCI X16 slot that operates at PCI X4. For storage, the B450 ARSM offers one M2 high-speed SSD configuration and 6 SATA 36 Gbps for extended storage. Furthermore, this board sets up 64 GB of DDR4 3600 MHz of system memory, available for all your computing needs. On top of it all, this motherboard comes with 3-year manufacturer's warranty, which is one of the best on the market. When considering the form factor, warranty and features the Gigabyte B450 ARSM offers, it makes a strong contender for a top spot on this list. Coming in at number 2. ASRock B460M PR04. The ASRock B460M PR04 is an Intel-based motherboard supporting 10th generation Intel Core processors with the 1200 socket. With the Intel 10th Gen processors, you are able to use up to 2933 MHz memory up to 128 GB. The onboard graphics will support up to 3 monitors with the HDMI port of 4K x 2K at 30 Hz and 4K x 2K at 60 Hz through the DisplayPort. The audio will support 7. One-channel audio, and also the B460M PR04 has Nahimic audio built-in, which really helps shape the sound, especially when trying to get precision audio in games. One nice advantage of this board is that you have built-in Wi-Fi supporting 802.3 energy-efficient wireless protocol. On the mainboard you have some expansion room with 2 PCI 3.0x16 slots and 1 PCI 3.0x1 slot. Another advantage of having a larger board such as this is that you get one Ultra M2 SSD up to Gen 3 X4 at 32 GB per second and another M2 slot offering up to the same 32 GB per second speeds. However, using both of these slots will disable the PCI slot 3, so using 2 graphics cards won't be an option, which to be honest, isn't very necessary today with many things not optimized for multi-GPU support. In addition to the M2 storage, you also have 6 SATA 6 GB per second connections to beef up that overall storage. If you're looking for a really solid budget option for your new 10th gen Intel processor, the ASRock B460M PR04 is one of the best motherboards you can get your hands on, especially in this price category. And number 1. Gigabyte B550M DS3H. The Gigabyte B550M DS3H is the single AM4 3rd generation exclusive AMD motherboard on the list. As with many of the sub-$100 budget-minded motherboards on this list, the Gigabyte B550M DS3H is built with the Micro ATX form factor. This board will stand out on this list for one major feature, which is support for PCI Generation 4.0. What does this mean to you? PCI 4.0 delivers the next level of speed capabilities, allowing the add-in cards and virtually every part of this computer to communicate with the CPU 2x faster than every other board on this list. On the internal side of the board you will find one PCI X16 Gen4 slot and one PCI X16 Gen 3.0 slot as well as a PCI Gen 1 slot. Looking at the storage, you have 2 M2 slots, and with the enhanced PCI system, these M2 slots become more important and allow both to run very fast because of the extra bandwidth available on the PCI 4.0 platform. The IOA connectors on the interior side of the B550M DS3H include one X24-pin ATX main power connector, one X8-pin ATX 12V power connector, one X CPU fan header, 2X system fan headers, 2X addressable LED strip headers, 2X RGB LED strip headers, 1X CPU cooler LED strip RGB LED strip header, 2X M2 socket 3 connectors, 4X SATA 6 GB per second connectors, 1X front panel header, 1X front panel audio header, 1X USB 3.2 Gen 1 header, 1X USB 2.0 1 header, 1X trusted platform module and 1X serial port header. Finally, the Gigabyte B550M DS3H supports 128 GB of 4733mAh RAM. With the all-around quality build and PCI 4.0 support, the Gigabyte B550M DS3H is easily my number 1 pick on the list of the best motherboards under $100. For more information and latest price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it helpful. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below